Hey guys, so we have something we need to address real quick. So there are some things that we've said in a couple of the past episodes and in today's episode that we will say that we've realized is problematic. And we never meant any harm. We're always learning, we're always growing, we always want to do the best that we possibly can in speaking about people who are underrepresented and who don't have as much as a voice have as much of a voice as we do, as we have the opportunity to. So I'm kind of not sure how do we word
Oh,
it.
you were killing it. I was
okay.
Damn, girl. So in this episode and one of our previous episodes, we had said that so-and-so was closeted, and so they acted out in this way or that. And, there's plenty of people who are forced into the closet for whatever reason, and it is sad and it's shitty, and hopefully it will happen less as the years go by and as acceptance grows. But there's lots of people in the closet who don't kill people.
Yeah.
So that
Absolutely.
was we had no idea that it was a problematic thing to say at the time. We were trying to come from a place of compassion, like, hurt people. And so in not being able to express one's full identity, that hurts, no matter who the person is. But once again, it's been brought to our attention that is a very problematic stance and a very problematic thing to say, and so we are sorry if we had hurt anybody by saying that, and we are trying to learn better so we can do better. So also, listeners, if we say anything shitty or problematic during the show, let us know, because we are not here to be an issue. We are here to infotain you with our infotainment.
And we want to lift everybody up. I mean, everybody deserves a voice. And while I don't personally represent a specific group, it doesn't mean I can't respect them and learn from them. So, yeah, I'm really sorry. I'm really glad, though, that we had the opportunity to learn to be better. So, in the future, we will not blame being closeted for acts of violence, because people are violent or they're not. It doesn't matter what their sexual preferences or their gender identity or anything. So, we're sorry. What are we getting into today?
Oh shit, I didn't even know we were recording. All right, so this is Natalie Wood, her life, her death. Initially, it was what got me into this was I was researching for the hopefully sometime upcoming episode, Dennis Hopper is a Madman. And I was like, oh, Natalie Wood. Oh yeah, I know stuff about her death, because a long time ago, my buddy serial killer Greg loaned me this. I don't think he's killed anyone. If he had, though, it wouldn't surprise anyone.
Okay,
nice guy.
You have friends with the coolest names. What was the other one? Like Little Hand Johnny or
Oh,
something?
Johnny Smallhands.
Johnny Smallhands. Oh my gosh,
Smallhands.
such cool
He's
names.
got the tiniest hands. He's a really good graphic designer. But so serial killer Greg had loaned me this book by Thomas Naguchi, and he was the LA County coroner at the time of Natalie Wood's death. At the time of a lot of deaths, he actually had caught in a lot of heat, specifically from Frank Sinatra.
What?
Because
that guy's got time for this?
Dude, okay, so this entire episode is me name dropping celebrities that seem to be pulled out of thin fucking air and not at all pertinent. So this whole thing is going to be like, are you making this shit up? I'm not making up any of this.
Coroner does not have time for your bullshit, Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. He's got dead people to look at.
Yeah, he's got things.
Actually, so here's another cool thing, is this dude is actually still alive. He's like 92.
Yes.
Yeah. So anyway, Thomas Naguchi, he had written a couple of books, but the one that I read was called Coroner. And it was co-authored with Joseph DeMona. Came out in 1983, so like a couple years after Natalie Wood died. And it was more or less just going through, this is what we found on the body and everything like that. But that's initially how I even was like, oh yeah, I know about her death. Natalie Wood is actually somebody who you guys all know, but you don't know that you know her. I will just start in. From the card, where do you know her from?
I love the card system.
The note card system is the new thing I do. It makes it so I can keep my brains organized. So
also you can pick up a copy of Coroner
for like $4.
$4.
No shit, totally worth it.
Yeah. Doing it now.
Yeah, it's a really good book. I still have it. If Serial Killer Greg, if you're listening, I still have the book. So if you want it back, hit me up. I will give it to you.
But only if you like and subscribe.
Or just give me one of your paintings. He makes like paintings out of his own bodily fluids, but they're really good.
Oh.
That face.
Oh. Because there's only 2 bodily fluids I think of. It's jizz and shit.
No, he's got more. He's got blood.
I had to think about it for a minute.
I'm sure he uses semen.
Boogers.
I don't know about boogers, actually. I don't honestly know if he uses his semen. But I know he at minimum uses his blood.
Blood is
mostly his blood, I think.
That's how you end up with a cursed painting. That's like the
Yeah, but he's really good.
Yeah. No,
I don't think that his blood probably has curses. He's like a really nice guy. No, we only called him Serial Killer Greg because he's like really fascinated with serial killers.
Oh, okay.
But also like so he worked in a mortuary for a long time.
Okay.
And he's a sober dude, regular dude, but it's one of those dudes who's like, he's very fascinated with like metal and G.G. Allen and like, I mean, Macabre, both the band and things that are Macabre. And he was like at all the metal shows and stuff, but he's just a straight-laced looking guy, you know, like button up shirt, blonde hair, glasses, like all-American. If you were to cast like an all-American football player for something, you'd be like, oh yeah, that guy right there, you know, just all-American dude, regular looking guy, dark mind.
Yeah, I had a friend like that. He used to harvest eyeballs for donation. Yeah, from people who donated their body parts, he would harvest their eyeballs.
Dope.
He was so sweet. I mean, same thing. It was like blonde hair, like super quiet, vegan. Yeah, I haven't seen him in a long time, actually.
Yeah.
Shout out Matt Brown.
I hope Matt Brown's doing good. I hope Serial Killer Greg's doing good. Nice guy. I love that guy. But yeah, I still have that. I still have that book, Greg. Hit me up. I'm holding the card right now. Where do you know her from? Okay, so a ton of things. Most notably, she was the little kid on Miracle on 34th Street.
No shit.
Yeah, that was like her second credited role, I want to say.
Wow. Yeah, because Dave asked me, he's like, what do I know her from? Because we were talking about it this morning.
A ton of shit. So that, The Great Race with Tony Curtis and Jack Lemmon in 1965, Rebel Without a Cause in 1955.
Yeah.
With James Dean and Dennis Hopper. Okay, I have such a big... Oh, my God.
It's going to be like, instead of the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon or whatever, it'd be like the 3 degrees of Dennis Hopper.
Dude, the 745 degrees of Dennis Hopper. I'm not fucking kidding. This dude know everybody. Like, he was... Anyone who was dope, Dennis Hopper knew. West Side Story.
Yeah, that would have been the one I should have said.
Like, she was in a ton of stuff. Her very last movie was with Christopher Walken, co-starring. It was called Brainstorm. Ooh. But yeah, like in total, she, oh my God, she did so many fucking movies.
And her daughter's an actress too.
Which daughter?
Natasha?
She looks exactly like her mother.
Yeah, she does.
She's so pretty. Yes, she is. Oh my God. Jealous. So check this out. Also, she did 74 movies. 74 movies.
This is back when, wow.
Well, okay, she started doing movies though when she was 4.
Yeah, that's true.
And so, I mean, you know, like, that's just a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fucking movies, homie. So yeah, she did 74 movies. Wow. She was born July 20th, which is the day before my birthday.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, July 20th, 1938 in San Francisco. She died November 29th, 1981 at the age of 43. So for, let's see, her career spanned 39 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
74 in 39 years.
Sometimes she was doing 2 different roles at once, especially when she was a kid, because she was the main breadwinner for the family.
Oh.
And, oh, man, she had the stagest of stage mom. Like, holy shit, dude.
Didn't they come from Russia or
they
something?
They did, yeah.
Yeah, and she was like, she spoke English. She was like the, yeah.
Yeah. Well, so, okay, like, they had come over from Russia.
Sorry, I'm joking.
Oh, no, you're fine. They came over from Russia, and initially, she had changed, or not she was just a little kid. Initially, they had changed their name to Gurdon because they thought that it would be easier for the dad to get work, all of this stuff. And I mean, it was marginally easier, but and so her name was Natasha initially. Like, Natasha Gurdon was the second incarnation of her name. The first incarnation I'm just gonna botch, so I'm not gonna try. And then on her, I believe her first credited role, which was the one right before Miracle on 34th Street, they were like, you need a more, like, palatable name. You need something that we could write in the lights, kid. And so they picked Natalie Wood.
Wow.
Yeah. And,
it's a good one.
Well, and her sister, actually, they changed her name to Lana Wood because she kind of a little bit piggybacked.
Oh, that name sounds familiar.
Yeah, she was in... she was like a Bond girl. She was just had like smaller roles here and there.
Totally.
And so yeah, they had done that. By all accounts, though, her mom was a stage mom as fuck. Oh. Yeah. So her character in Tomorrow Is Forever had to cry on command because actors have to cry on command. So her mom knew this. And her mom brought a jar with butterflies in it and ripped the wings off the butterflies to get her daughter to cry.
That is so classic old school Russian. Like, scary, extreme.
Oh, anyone who's heard
acting?
Russian fairy tales knows. Yeah, fuck all that. It's terrifying. But yeah, so she did that. There was another time as well where she was 9 and she was on the set of The Green Promise, and there's this scene where this little rickety bridge is supposed to collapse, right? So they had rigged it wrong, and I mean, it collapsed, but it collapsed at the wrong time, and she was on it, and she almost fucking drowned.
Oh my God.
And she broke her wrist so badly that there was like a bone protruding out.
Oh.
And I mean, this goes back to old school parents did not give a fuck. So, it never healed right. They never went to the doctor because her mom didn't want her to be known as a problem or anything like that. And it's like, well, there's a difference between, like, being the kid from The Omen and breaking your fucking wrist and almost drowning.
Totally.
That, once again, going back to all of the old movies, that's the take that they used.
Of course.
Yeah, and so it never healed right, and so she always would wear a chunky bracelet on that arm or gloves or something like that.
Damn.
Yeah, it was.
Poor girl.
It was like her one flaw, and so she just would work with it and cover it up with a bracelet. Yeah, she had a really crazy fucking life. For a while, she was known as one of the only child stars who wasn't just off their fucking gourd. And here's actually to her credit of being a badass, she had been in therapy for like ever, and she was very open about it.
That's ahead of her time.
Extremely so.
That's cool.
And so I thought that was really dope. She actually let's see, when I didn't write down when, I want to say like the 70s-ish, she took a handful of pills and tried to like off herself, and then after that she was actually even more outspoken about mental health issues.
Good for her.
Yeah.
It's like Carrie Fisher.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, yeah,
absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah, she was pretty fucking dope. Listen, so okay, just like how I have a long list of known associations with Dennis Hopper, holy shit, dude. Okay, and this is just some of them. This is just the ones that like you might know. So Maureen O'Hara. Yeah, from like the Parent Trap. She was big in like the 30s and 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
Orson Welles, Rock Hudson, Jimmy Stewart, James Dean, Dennis Hopper, Bing Crosby. Tab Hunter was a huge name back then, but it was like a flash in the pan type thing.
Yeah.
But he was a really big deal then.
Wow.
So Tab Hunter, she like worked with him, and I probably went on some studio dates with him. They used to arrange studio dates back then.
Especially for Tab Hunter and Rock Hudson.
Right.
Yeah.
Nudge, nudge. Was Tab Hunter gay?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
shit. Okay.
Super, super forced to be in the closet.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense then. Yeah, Rock Hudson's on this list too. Bing Crosby, Betty Davis, Frank Sinatra. She actually dated for a while. He was very protective of her.
Oh.
When she started dating Robert Wagner, from this point on, we will call him RJ because I guess that's what everyone calls him.
Yeah.
When she started dating him, apparently Frank Sinatra was like, "If you hurt her, I'll fucking kill you."
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I've actually heard him doing. I've heard of him doing that for like Mia Farrow, other actresses who he had dated as well.
Oh, he should have
really protective.
He should have squashed Woody Allen. That
have you seen Ronan Farrow?
Yeah.
It's yeah. Ronan Farrow is very obviously his son.
Yeah. If you know, then you know.
There's no fucking way. He's obviously his son.
Yeah.
Like Ronan Farrow looks a lot like Mia Farrow. He does.
Yeah.
But he also looks a lot like Frank Sinatra and zero like
Woody Allen.
Zero.
Yeah.
He looks more like Woody Harrelson than Woody Allen.
Yes, he does. Oh, God, that whole thing with his sister that, oh, my God. Oh, I get the fucking heebie-jeebies just thinking about it.
That was fucked up.
That's so brutal.
Initially, when I had heard about Ronan Farrow and he had mentioned something on the Catch and Kill podcast about his sister, and initially I thought that he meant Soon Lee, and then when I found out, oh no, there's another sister also, I was like, oh,
poor Dylan.
Yeah.
Oh, HBO is amazing if you want to watch that series, or the documentary on Natalie Wood. And
I watched that. Okay, so I had issue with that.
Oh,
I cited it on my sources, but yeah, so on HBO Max there's this, it's called Natalie Wood's What Remains Behind. It's real fucking softball, though. Like, you can tell that it's Robert Wagner forming the narrative of course I didn't kill her. I'm a great father. And he kind of a little bit plays the old, addled, that was a long time ago. Yeah, no. I fully fucking believe that he absolutely killed Natalie Wood, and I will prove the case with this podcast.
I can't wait to hear it, because I'm on the same boat.
He absolutely fucking did it.
But mine is all based on the weird glint in his eye that he gets when he's like, okay, this is me projecting. Mm-hmm. I'm a white man that did whatever the fuck I wanted and got away with it. Yep. And I'm fine.
And the way that he completely diminishes his wild episodes of crazy fucking rage, like smashing a bottle rage.
Yeah, and how, like, especially Natasha Wagner comes to his defense all the time publicly and stuff.
It definitely seems very, like, you know how in MLMs, if somebody is trying to be like, oh no, like, this isn't an MLM, you buy a product and you no, it's a fucking
boss.
Right, exactly. No, dude, it's a fucking MLM, and they seem very indoctrinated. They all seem to have this narrative that he had spun because the girls were young, that they all hold to and don't question.
Yeah.
And if anyone is good at spotting somebody holding to a narrative that doesn't make sense and not questioning it, it's me, because I grew up Mormon.
Yep. You were well trained for this.
Oh, yeah, I could spot him a fucking mile away. So, yeah, they're definitely sticking to this very carefully crafted narrative.
I would love it if there was...
It contradicts itself.
It does. I'd love some DNA evidence. Okay, so Jeffrey Mcdonald, who supposedly did not kill his wife, who was pregnant, and their 2 young daughters, and said hippies broke into his house and did it. Yeah, for years people have gone back and forth. It's one of the most heated debates about whether he's guilty, whether he's innocent. So there was always this thing about, and Errol Morris spent, I don't know, 20 fucking years of his life dedicated to figuring out this Jeffrey McDonald story, Dr. Jeffrey McDonald. And yeah, when it comes down to it, there were hairs in her hand. His dead wife had a few hairs in her hand. And they were always like, oh, you know, this, like when your hands go, because you're being stabbed and you're being killed. And they said, oh, it must be her hair. No, genetically they proved it was her husband's. Like, he fucking killed her. He killed them all. And then for years he sowed this narrative. Yeah. And even with, what's his name? The guy with the one-armed bandit who did the, like, I can't remember his name. He was a doctor too, supposedly, that killed his pregnant wife. And they based the whole TV show and the Harrison Ford movie on it.
No shit. Fugitive?
The Fugitive, yes.
No
Genetics
way.
proved, now DNA proved, he didn't kill his wife.
I bet Harrison Ford feels real stupid now.
No, he didn't kill his wife, yeah. Like, he was proven innocent. So, you know, I would love some genetics on this. To show. So,
they, in 2011... they had reopened the case.
Yes.
Yeah, it didn't really yield much, though.
It's hard with the old cases.
It is. It was kind of like, meh, because all that it really resulted in was the cause of death being changed from accidental drowning to drowning and other determined factors. The case is still, like, open and ongoing, allegedly, but I mean, come the fuck on.
Yeah.
It seems that Thomas Naguchi, it doesn't seem like he fully believed, even like when I was reading the book, that it was just as simple and cut and dry as everyone says. So it was actually Dennis Davern, the captain.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually his book that had come out that it was released in 2006. It's called Goodbye Natalie, Goodbye Splendor. It's co-written with Marty Ruley, one of his friends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it seems like that actually significantly led to the reopening of the case, because there's several things that he says in that book that are very much corroborated with evidence and very much contradicts most of the things that Robert Wagner had said. But Chris Walken's story actually also, surprisingly, in a lot of ways, matches up with Dennis Davern's.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if someone's not familiar with this at all, will you break down the night?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
cool.
okay.
That just occurred to me. I was like, oh, wait, I'm getting into this too much and derailing you. And I'm like, because I know.
I need to turn all my cards back over. All my little Jeopardy cards. So just to give you guys an overview of everything, the official story on what happened was, okay, I'm going to start this out with the Gypsy Prophecy.
Yes.
They call it the Gypsy Prophecy. I understand that is a very outdated thing to say, but it does not flow off the tongue as much as the Romani woman had told her Russian friend, hey.
Yeah.
So, when Wood's mother, Maria, had moved to China as a refugee, she had encountered this Romani woman who had told her, she did like a reading, and she had told her that her second child would be a great beauty known throughout the land, but also to beware of dark water. Now, that could be taken in two ways. A, she's going to drown in dark water. B, beware of the 2005 Jennifer Connelly film.
I'm going B.
Okay, well,
for sure.
Me too, because she could have also drowned in where she broke her wrist.
Yeah, she
and
could have.
So I think that this Romani woman was just covering all of her bases. By that point, she's like, okay, if she survives the bridge and she survives the boat, this movie is going to be career fucking suicide for her.
Yep. Totally.
Because she's, you know, she would have been alive in 2005,
Oh,
most
definitely.
likely.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, in my investigations, I had found some people had kind of thought that this prophecy was something that her mother, one of the many things her mother used to kind of keep her under her thumb, you know, which is lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of stuff she used to do that.
That's a bummer.
It is, yeah, it is. I agree with that. So just to go through, I guess, the official story of what happened when she died. This card is called Her Death, the official story. What was she wearing? So this is, once again, this is what's on, you know, like the police report. This is the story that everybody has more or less agreed upon. And then I will go into what's more likely the truth after. So
Okay.
the facts of it is she went, what Robert Wagner says.
Okay.
Which is not fucking true, but this is what Robert Wagner said to kind of make everything make sense. Because nothing proves you're not lying more than having a very elaborate story that counts on several different things happening all at once.
Quite similar to the staircase with the owls and the which may have happened. I don't know, but it's Occam's razor says if it claws like an owl and it flies like an owl, it's Robert Wagner's fault.
Yeah, actually.
So
I think so. I completely fucking agree with that. That dude's shifty. Sam Neill, he is not. So what everybody had agreed was most likely had happened was she went on the deck of the boat to more tightly secure the dinghy that was kind of batting upside the boat.
And they were in dock, right?
Yes.
It was
anchored.
Okay, it was anchored. Yeah.
They weren't going anywhere. And so, and her daughter also kind of corroborated this, was saying, yeah, the dinghy was always slamming up against the side of the boat, and she was really sensitive to noise, and so it would make sense she would tie it off. And so it was batting upside the boat. She had already taken her sleeping pills for the night, and also had alcohol in her system and everything. And so it was likely that what happened was she went to go tie off the dinghy and slipped, hit her head on the way down, and was unconscious before she hit the water. And that's why she had a scrape on her face and, you know, little bruises and stuff on her. And all of that was consistent with everything, and she just drowned and it was fine. And, you know, she was wearing only a flannel nightgown with blue wool socks and a red down jacket, which actually Naguchi had said the down jacket might have been her ultimate undoing because it took on water. She didn't think to take it off, and it kind of just weighed her down. Yeah. But so at 7:30, she was in the morning. She was found floating about a mile from the boat, which is kind of one thing that makes me think like I think it was just anchored. I don't think that it was, you know, like docked or anything.
Yeah. That makes sense.
The dinghy was named the Prince Valiant, which I get a kick out of because Robert Wagner played Prince Valiant, which led to many dudes getting bangs in. Google that.
My God, totally.
Yeah, so the Prince Valiant was found washed up on shore, and the ignition was off, the gear shift was in neutral, the oars were locked. Yeah, so she, even if she had gotten on it, she didn't drive it anywhere. I had seen a couple of things that had said that there was scratch marks on the side of the dinghy. Not enough to necessarily say that there were or were not, but that could just be urban myth canon. I don't know.
Well, you know, if there's anything we've learned from our cursed movie series, it's that 90% of canon could be bullshit.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Which is a bummer.
Especially surrounding something like this where people have such a fascination with her drowning because not only the Romani prophecy, but then also she had said that that's something that she's terrified of in many interviews. And the bridge thing where her wrist got hurt. So people are just, you know, they're just fascinated with it anyway. But the talk screen had said that she had 7 to 8 glasses of wine in her system, which is like yeah, she was on vacation. It was like, not only was she on vacation, it was like the week of Thanksgiving. It was like a few days after Thanksgiving or the day after. And like she and Chris Walken and her husband and the boat captain were all on this boat. By all accounts, Robert Wagner's own even, he was a very, very jealous man. So he was being crazy the whole fucking time.
Because Chris Walken was there, I wonder, and they were
Yeah.
co-stars, and
yeah,
it's gotta be uncomfortable.
Super uncomfortable. So, and this is where the whole thing kind of goes like sideways, maybe. So allegedly, in Dennis Davern's story, he said that more or less that Chris Walken was just being himself, like not any which way, just being a regular fucking dude, not trying to creep on anyone or anything like that, and that Robert Wagner was just being fucking crazy. Now, Robert Wagner, so they had been married twice to each other.
That's right.
Yes.
And this was the second time.
This is the second time. So, he, in one of his book that he had written, he had even said that at one point, I believe it was toward the end of their first relationship, that he had gotten so jealous of Warren Beatty that he like had pulled a gun on him, and yeah, like he wrote in his biography that he wanted to kill Warren Beatty. Now, okay, Warren Beatty at the time, I mean, up until really, really recently, because I don't hang in the senior community, so I'm actually not sure it could still be standing, but he was known as a womanizer.
Yeah, he totally was.
Like, his whole fucking life. Like, he was just, I'm fucking Warren Beatty. Yeah. What you gonna do?
I'm gonna bang you, I'm gonna bang you, I'm gonna bang your mom and your sister.
Every single person at the same time. And so, I mean, on that one, like, yeah, I kind of get it. If you already have a jealous streak and your wife is co-starring with Warren Beatty, okay, I kind of get that. And, like, she did start dating Warren Beatty directly after, out of spite. I don't know.
I would have.
If it was me, I would have. And so, on that one, it's kind of like, okay, but Christopher Walken, it's not like Chris Walken was really hot and then started to look weird when he got old. He was really weird looking and then started to look like a human when he got old.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I'm looking at a picture of him. He is exactly what you would imagine.
He's got red hair. His skin is very taut.
Yes.
Too taut for it. I think that a skinwalker took some skin from one person and some bones from a larger person and was like, this worked. I think that it was the skin stretching over the bones, and then it was the skinwalker's like first day in this weird lanky body, and so they fell a bunch.
Yeah, like,
yeah, I see that. I didn't see it before.
Google young Christopher Walken, everybody.
Yeah, but that's a good picture that you're looking at.
That is a good picture. That's been
Google. Like... Yeah. Oh well. So this was right around the time that I think he had just come off of doing Deer Hunter, or was just about to do Deer Hunter. Mm-hmm. And it was also around the same time that Chris Walken made my favorite movie, The Sentinel, with Burgess Meredith, Ava Gardner, Chris Sarandon. Oh, I can keep going.
That's your favorite movie?
Of all time.
The Sentinel.
It's the weirdest fucking movie, and it's got a plot that goes nowhere. And actually, there's actually only really one plot twist, come to think of it. And the plot twist is on the movie poster.
There must forever be a guardian at the gate from hell. Is that the one?
I mean, it kind of, yeah, no, that's the movie. It kind of alludes to it. No, the movie cover that I had said her apartment is the gate to hell. And I was like, oh.
Well, and I thought spoiler alert.
I thought there'd be a lot more to it, but no, that's the spoiler.
She's young. She's beautiful. She's next. doomed to guard the gates of hell forever. Those are a lot of spoilers.
That is the entire spoiler.
Boo.
Yeah. Who the fuck does it? That's like if you were gonna watch The Village and the poster said they're actually living in a park, modern day.
Yeah.
Like that's the exact. It's the same. But anyway, going back to
pictured Adrian Brody in his little costume. I'm sorry. I guess
Adrian Brody would have been really good in this.
Adrian Brody's another one with a face made of face that makes me want to sit on it when he's a villain. I don't get it. What is wrong with me? My brain is broken.
Liked him in Son of Sam, actually.
I really did
with Daisy Fuentes?
No, Jennifer Esposito.
No, it's Daisy Fuentes.
No, it's Jennifer Esposito.
Google it. It's Daisy Fuentes, I promise you. I watched that movie a lot.
Me too. And when John Leguizamo like wipes his fucking mouth.
When John Leguizamo anythings.
Yeah.
I fucking adore that dude, even in The Pest.
Jennifer Esposito. They look extremely alike.
Man, you're right.
Sorry. I had to, yeah. Oh my gosh.
Dude, they look exactly
Look
like
who else is in that movie.
No
Christopher. It's Christopher from The Sopranos.
Who the fuck was he in there?
Midnight? Whoever that is.
Sounds like a drug dealer if I ever heard it.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, Adrian Brody got all my
Yes.
You know,
I didn't actually have that much of a thing for punks until I saw that movie.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, well, Adrian Brody, okay. Well, I can do that.
Especially when they started doing porn and, like, she went blonde.
Oh, yeah, and he, like, stabs the pillow. That was some weird porn there. That's, I don't know, 70s.
That's what Spike Lee thought maybe porn was like in the 70s for white people, I'm thinking.
Well, he's probably not wrong. White people are into some weird shit.
God damn, that's right.
So I have still got some cards here. Oh.
Okay, so we've got RJ's story.
Yep.
She
okay,
drunkenly
so you want some
tumbled.
Dennis Davern story here?
I want some Dennis Davern.
Okay.
I want some corroborated by walk-in.
Yeah, so check this out.
Skinwalker walk-in. Skinwalker walk-in.
It all makes sense.
It does. It does. Okay.
Oh my god, it's like a vampire being named Dr. Acula.
Exactly. Holy shit.
So in his book, he had said that the first night that they were out, Robert Wagner was being such a fucking dick that Natalie Wood actually had asked Dennis to just fucking take her to the mainland, and so they had actually, apparently he was so fucking concerned that he stayed in the same room as her. They got 2 rooms next to each other, but he said that he just he just sat in a chair facing the door and just fucking stayed up, making sure no shit happened.
See, that's not a good sign.
The night before she died.
Yeah. Mysteriously.
Right. And then actually, so here's another thing. When the case was reopened in 2011, apparently the bruises that she had the water was so fucking cold, she would have had those before she got in the water, because the water would have stopped the bruising.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
Too cold.
Exactly. And so this is the same night that, oh my god, and this is another way that RJ is just full of shit. He had said that he and Chris Walken had gotten into a heated political debate. And that they were just, being wild, talking about politics as one does, and just yelling about that.
I would have called bullshit until 2018.
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah.
But Robert Wagner's the only motherfucker who says that that's why they were yelling. So Davern says at one point, the day that Natalie Wood died, that he was yelling at Chris Walken something to the effect of like, are you trying to fuck my wife? You want to fuck my wife? And apparently this is not a Robert Redford scenario, because the movie that they were working on together, they had like a love scene. I think it was like a sex scene. And the director had noted that they had 0 sexual chemistry.
Oh, shit.
Like, fucking nothing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Like, and Natalie Wood's a really good actor, but even she couldn't act her way past them having 0 sexual chemistry.
It's hard to have chemistry with a skinwalker.
Yeah.
It's real hard.
Yeah, I bet
Oh,
that his
man.
skin was real clammy.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, I get it. I would not have been able to keep it up with him either. But so also their first marriage had ended I mean, I kind of want to say abruptly, but not super so, because he was being kind of a jealous prick. Their first marriage had ended in 1962, and from all accounts, she had walked in on him with somebody.
Son of a bitch.
Her sisters and her sister Lana and like a couple of friends who have no reason to fucking lie had said that she had walked in on him with their male housekeeper.
Oh my god, that makes sense. The rage, the weird rage, that's my wife, she's super hot.
Yeah.
The overcompensation.
Yeah.
Dude, just...
Because back then being gay was like a fucking deal. It was a whole thing.
Oh,
which,
man.
once again, going back to it, hell hath no fury.
Like a gay man in the closet in the 70s.
Yes.
Oh, shit.
For sure. So, her sister Lana had even said, like, when she got remarried to him, after having been married to Richard Gregson for, I think, like 3 years. And that's actually Natasha's dad is him.
That's right.
Yeah. Is Richard Gregson.
That's right.
But she pretty much only really knew Robert Wagner as her dad. Like, he pretty much did raise her. So in that sense, he was, he was a good dude to his kids.
Yeah.
Good on him, I guess. He seems like he was a loving dad. They seem to have a good relationship. But yeah, he, when she had gotten remarried to him, she had even told her sister something to the effect of like, well, it's the devil you know, because even like Gregson cheated on her as well.
Oh my
So
God.
also, people, this goes back to the whole thing of if somebody's cheating on you, or if you find yourself getting cheated on often, it isn't you.
Mm-mm.
Your picker isn't broken.
Nope.
Natalie Wood, one of the debatably most beautiful women in Hollywood at the time, also got cheated on by quite a few partners. It's not you.
No.
It's them. Trust me on that.
There are men out there. There are partners. There are women. They will not cheat on you.
Yeah, there's people
not
who will
you.
just like chill and they just like you for you. But yeah, it's not you. It's some people need to validate themselves through their genitals.
Yeah. And thank you for making the distinction and not doing the victim blaming thing where it's like, oh, your picker's broken. Because I used to subscribe to that for many, many years.
Yeah, and fuck all that.
No,
That's
fuck
not
that.
true.
I didn't deserve any of the shit that I got from any of them. Like, oh, you...
Like, I mean, I suppose my picker was broken for quite a while, but I mysteriously also picked people who didn't cheat on me. So it's... People cheat. It sucks. It happens. And also, I'm not talking about, like, ethical non-monogamy. I'm talking about, like, literally, like, two people have agreed to be monogamous and one of them just reneges on the deal. Sometimes often. And so anyway, yeah. Side note, even the most beautiful woman in Hollywood got cheated on a few times. It's not you. It's them. But when she was talking to... When Lana, Natalie's sister, was talking to Natalie, instead of Natalie saying something to the effect of like, oh, I saw him after 11 years and the spark was there and it was so nice, her literal phrasing was, well, it's the devil you know.
That poor woman.
Yeah.
This
woman dated Elvis.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I just said yeah like I knew that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, she fucking dated Elvis, man.
Oh,
like,
honey.
yeah. And Michael Caine.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Girl.
Yeah. So, like...
It's hard out there for a pimp, when
it
you're
fucking
like...
is, man.
You're a beautiful woman, but you just...
Oh,
these
and she
dudes are
had her
just-
head screwed on right.
Yeah.
She fucking did, man. She ruled the studios toward the end. Yeah, but... So, her sister, Lana, had said something to the effect of, like, that her mom, had told her, because Lana was, I want to say, maybe 10 years her junior.
That sounds right.
Her mom, when she had brought up, like, well, but wait, isn't he gay though? Like, why are they getting married again? Her mom had said something to the effect of, like, oh no, like they cured him of that, or something to that effect, which, yeah, that fucking works.
Yeah, just pray away the gay.
Right. Fucking idiots. And so I had also heard that it's possible that the reason that Chris Walken was so fucking weird and tight-lipped about the whole thing was because, like, he and Robert Wagner had a thing. I don't fucking believe it, because every single person who had seen the three of them together had said that RJ was just raging on this dude, and that okay, I understand that, like, angry sex exists. I've never had it. I've always wanted to. When I get somebody that mad, they just don't want to fucking look at me. I'm not good, I guess, when I make people mad. I'm a real dick. And so I just don't... I'm assuming that Robert Wagner was kind of the same.
Yeah.
So even if they were, you know, inclined to want to boop genitals, I don't think that they would have at that moment. I think that they seem to not like each other very much.
Maybe he was there trying to be a good friend to Natalie Wood, make sure she didn't get fucking killed.
That's kind of what... that's my hot take on it.
You know, because even skinwalkers can have a heart sometimes.
Yeah.
When they're not, you know, luring people to their deaths and eating them. Maybe they're protecting nice women who were good friends to them or something.
I think that's probable.
It seems like it.
Because it's he from everybody's account, not once did I see anything about them having good, like, chemistry or him trying to perv on her. His wife was on set most of the time.
Yeah.
It seems to me, because they had invited a bunch of people to go out on the boat, but like a ton of people, a ton of their friends. And Chris Walken is the only one who bit. I think it was just because he was still kind of a new friend and a new co-star. And they had good acting chemistry. They were good work friends.
Yeah.
But that was the extent of it. And I think that he was just so new to them that he didn't know that it was going to be a fucking terrible, terrible clusterfuck, like Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf style.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
He just didn't know how toxic that shit was.
He had no idea. And so he just, like, kind of got pulled into it and was like, whoa, this is fucking awkward the entire time.
Yeah. Oh, so glad I could be here for this murder of my friend.
Exactly. Well, the thing is, though, he stayed really, really, really oddly tight-lipped about the whole thing.
Yeah, always has, right?
Yeah. And his whole thing was something to the effect of that he didn't want to get in the middle of a husband and wife's things. And it's like, well, but one of them's fucking dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
you should fucking say something.
Right. Well, and even, like, not to say people can't change their stories. They can. It happens. But Robert Wagner is a really good actor.
Mm-hmm. That's the problem with fucking actors.
That is the problem with actors. Absolutely. He's a really good actor. And so, I mean, anyone who hasn't seen Heart to Heart, well, you should.
That was the first fucking thing Dave said. He's like, oh, there's a Heart to Heart?
Yeah, that was the first thing I said, too.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I used to watch that show. But, yeah, he is a really good actor. And you should watch Heart to Heart. It's fucking awesome. And so there was a bottle, like a broken bottle that was found in the trash, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Robert Wagner had said that it was, you know, it was a bumpy night and maybe it just fell off of the table and got broken. Mm-hmm. But he also had told the police, or his lawyer had rather.
Because of course he lawyered up.
Immediately. Which, once again, that doesn't necessarily prove a person's guilt. That just proves that they're fucking smart.
Yeah, that's what they always say. I teach my kids that. If you get arrested, lawyer up. You
Fuck
don't say
dude.
shit.
Exactly. And so, having the lawyer doesn't necessarily prove anything, but the lawyer had said that it was likely that Natalie just, like, got on the dinghy and wanted to take a night stroll because she did that all the time. When every single other person in the whole fucking world was like, no, she didn't.
Yeah.
And even, like, the tying of the dinghy, she would have had Dennis do it or had RJ do it. She would not have done it herself. And Robert Wagner had said that it was like glass, like the water was so still And then in the same breath, it said that it was turbulent enough for her to fall off the boat, or for, I don't think turbulence is the right word, that's for planes. Anyway, and that it was bad enough that like a bottle would get knocked off. But Dennis Davern and Chris Walken both had said that he had smashed the bottle and fucking threatened Walken with it.
See, now that makes more sense.
Like a wine bottle, like a champagne bottle. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know the mechanics that it takes to actually fucking smash it and not break your...
I have so dramatically tried many a time to like, whoo, ha! You know,
it doesn't work,
does not work.
No.
I am not strong enough. That is you have to be very strong /
very angry. Yep, exactly.
Because it will. Sometimes it'll shatter up. It'll cut the palm of your hand. More than likely, you have to hold it just right. You have to have experience threatening people with broken bottles, I believe.
Yeah.
I really
Which
do.
Robert Wagner apparently fucking had.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So... Oh, here's another thing that Dennis Davern alleges is that for like the following, I want to say couple years, that Robert Wagner wouldn't let him out of his fucking sight.
Oh no. That's not good.
No, like he had him like essentially holed up at his house, could not leave without security. Dennis Davern was engaged at the time.
Oh no.
Wouldn't let him see his fiance. Except, like, he had seen her for, like, 20 minutes or, like, a half hour, and his security was like, it's time to go back. Yeah.
You're in Wagner jail? It's clearly because he's worried you're going to just run to the cops.
Yeah. And so, also, there was people, like, I'm not going to say on the boat next to them, because that makes it seem like they were right next to them, but several yards away.
That's the thing a lot of people don't get about when boats are, like, quote-unquote next to each other. They're maybe swimming length away. Because if you don't know about boats...
If you're a good swimmer, not a Natalie Wood swimmer.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, totally.
She made it a mile, so I don't know.
Yeah.
That was mostly just floating. So, anyway, yeah, the woman, there was a man and a woman on the boat, and they had said that they thought that they had heard something. I'm talking, it was like about earshot away, and it was late at night when all of this is going down. I want to say 11-ish. When RJ alleges that he went to go kiss Natalie goodnight. Natalie had tucked in for the night far earlier because they were fighting, and she just didn't want to be a part of it. And so he alleges he went to, like, give her a kiss goodnight or whatever, and she wasn't there, and that he had sent people all around the boat looking for her, and she wasn't there. And so at that point, he said that he had, like, alerted everybody. Davern says that he sat him down and stopped him from looking, from turning on the searchlights, anything like that, or calling the Coast Guard, and made him have a drink with him, and more or less had... Yeah, it was rather threatening in doing that. And the lady in the boat next to them had said that she called the cops. She called the FBI. She called to everyone trying to tell them what she heard, because she had heard somebody who was obviously overboard had said something to the effect of, like, I'm drowning, or help me, or something like that. And then a guy's voice saying, oh, we'll get you out, sweetie, or something like that. But it was more of like a mocking tone than anything.
Ugh.
Yeah. And so...
Dude, my stomach just turned.
Right.
Ugh.
But she had gotten... I don't know what the best way to put this is, like, threat letters, maybe? More or less saying, like, hey, it seems like you're healthy. If you want to stay healthy, quit fucking talking about this shit.
Oh, man.
Robert Wagner had been a star since the late 40s, early 50s, like... And this is the early 80s by this point.
So he has a lifetime of getting his way, doing whatever he wanted.
Yes. Because
Lots
he was
of
also,
power.
I was going to say, he's also very powerful.
Yeah.
And he had gotten where he got, not by being born into it or anything. He worked at I want to say a country club. And his way of getting what he wanted was to listen well to rich people, make them feel special, and...
network
he was amazing at networking. Shit. He would remember, like, a funny thing you said last time that he interacted with him. Always call you by name.
You know, if he would have just fucking come clean, he could have fucked and sucked his way through how many years of prison and just been the king of that place.
Like, easily.
Like, People be licking his ass and giving him fucking ramen packs. Like, he could have lived it good if he'd have just been like, yep, I did it, I killed her. All this other shit with threatening.
But then
the
we
people
would have
on
never
the
had him
boat.
as number 2 in Austin Powers.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
it's all worth it.
ooh,
All the murder is worth it
murder.
for that bit
That
part.
residual check.
Yep, you
Hope
know
you
it.
got points off the back
That
end.
$28 a week comes in handy,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Oh shit! Every time it's on TBS, you know he's going, yes.
I know, right? My $27.
Yeah.
And get a pack of smokes.
Oh man.
But yeah, he had some shit to do with it. For fucking sure. Oh god. Okay, so their first date, his and Natalie Wood's, he was 26.
Oh no.
It was on her 18th birthday.
I was gonna say she was a child, wasn't she? Oh no.
Her 18th birthday. Her mom set it up through the studio.
Oh no.
I'm not kidding.
Studio date.
Yeah.
Ah!
Yeah. We've come toward the end where I have 3 cards left. Okay. Bonus, other random trivia, and hashtag boss babe.
Oh, I'm gonna start with bonus.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna slide into hashtag boss babe.
Slide into my DMs with that shit.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So, you know that band, the Fine Young Cannibals? She drives me crazy.
Ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah.
So, they named their band after the movie that the first movie that she and Robert Wagner starred in together.
Really?
Yeah, all the Fine Young Cannibals. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it was
Huh.
I don't know, I thought that was kind of crazy.
That is crazy. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So she was in West Side Story. She played Maria.
Mm-hmm.
She actually picked that role herself, which is dope. She
Oh,
got to
yeah.
pick her roles every now and then.
Dang.
Well, back then, like, if you were owned by a studio, you were owned by the fucking studio, and you didn't get to pick shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, she
totally.
picked that one, and I believe Rebel Without a Cause.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good picks.
Right, I know. So Marnie Nixon actually sang all of Natalie Wood's parts in West Side Story. Apparently, she just could not fucking pull it together.
Oh.
Like, she just wasn't a good singer. She tried. Yeah. Oh, and here's a sentence you will never fucking hear. During the shooting of Brainstorm, she was concerned that Christopher Walken, 6 years her junior, was making her look old.
Oh, what? No, honey. Honey.
He was, okay, admittedly, he was kind of baby-faced.
Yeah, I mean, he was fine. He was
And-
normal.
Yeah, well, that's a stretch. He was Chris Walken,
was-
just his
yeah.
skin was stretched more tautly.
Too tight.
Yeah. Okay, so we have other random trivia and boss babe.
Boss babe.
All right, hashtag boss babe. She paid $175,000 to get out of her contract with Warner Brothers.
That's so much money back then.
Right.
That's
It's
like,
because she wanted kids. She badly wanted kids.
oh.
Yeah, she was a really good mom too.
Oh my God, that just makes me think about Joan Crawford, who had, like, they made her pull her teeth out. She was, like, infertile and had to adopt because of all the things the studios did. Man.
Or even Judy Garland.
Judy Garland. Fuck.
Yeah. All that.
Good for her. She had the money. Good
Fuck
for her.
Fuck yeah, she did. She was really, really good with money too, actually. She was
Wow.
very, very frugal. She was
She's
a
like-
millionaire by the time she died. Like, multimillionaire. Yeah, she was very fucking frugal. The Harvard Lampoon in the 70s had named her the worst actress of the year.
Oh,
She leaned into it and accepted the award in person.
good girl. It's like getting
Yeah.
a Razzie. I love
Mhm.
it.
Okay, all that we have left is other random trivia.
Random
knowledge.
time.
Oh god, she dated the director of Rebel Without a Cause, Nicholas Ray. She was, I think, like 17 or almost 18. He was like 46.
Ooh. No.
Yeah.
No. Fucking gross. Oh God.
So initially they didn't want to give her the role in Rebel Without a Cause because up to that point she still had kind of this this very good girl vibe to her, right? And so everybody just still kind of saw her as a child, as the little kid from like Miracle on 34th Street. And so she was trying to prove, like, no, I can be bad. I can be real bad. So she took him to a party where people weed on each other. No, I'm kidding. No.
Weed on each other?
Kidding. That was old Greg. So she started hanging out with Dennis Hopper a lot and trying to market herself as like a party girl, you know? And Dennis Hopper totaled her Thunderbird. And
Dick.
Right. And when the cops came, they had called her a juvenile delinquent. And instead of having the cops call her parents, she had the cops call Nicholas Ray and said, well, they called me a juvenile delinquent. Can I have the role now?
Wow. Damn. Boss babe.
Yes.
Hashtag boss babe.
Fucking
Boss babe.
right, dude.
Wow.
So,
Good.
yeah.
Good for her.
That's it. That's all I
love
got.
her. You know,
That's all I got.
she's an icon for a reason. Follow us on Instagram.
Yeah, and be good dudes.
Yeah,
Be good
like
dudes.
say nice things. And join our Patreon. We've got some fun stuff.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to be busting out. Okay, so.
Check it. This is our first run at Patreon, so it's going to get weird.
It's going to get super weird because we can't do anything that's not weird. That wouldn't be us.
Yeah, that's true.
We're going to have different tiers of donation. We're going to be offering, we're going to have stickers.
Fuck yeah, we're working on those.
Yeah, our website's coming up. We're going to get some new merch. We're going to get some new logo stuff. I think we're going to do.
Totally.
So when you join our Patreon, at different levels, you'll get different things. It's going to continue to be weird content. It's going to be everything that you need in your life. And it's going to be accessible to you for just a small amount of money. So, like, check it out. I'll get it up. I'll put all the links up on all of our stuff for our website and our Patreon and everything. And until next time, just remember, we love you.
We love you.